the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Good afternoon, good evening, people from wherever you're watching in the world. Welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. That is the Kop, and this is the Kop TV. It's myself, AGT, giving you a nice little digestible match preview. Brentford versus Liverpool at the G-Tech Community Stadium. If you're watching this live, as you enter, smash the likes. Let me know your thoughts and comments ahead of tomorrow's game, the first game of 2023 for Liverpool. Can we start off the new year in the best way possible with 3 points? I'm going to go through all of your comments, and if I do miss any out, then make sure, if you can, do send in a super chat, and that guarantees your comment to be read out ahead of this match preview, where we'll be just talking about Brentford, Liverpool, and of course, Cody Gakpo. And I am hearing you pronounce it Gakpo, not Gakpo. So that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the show. And hopefully you guys can take that away with you and teach some other people that as well. Big up to Scouse African already in the comments showing love. Happy New Year, and a Happy New Year straight back to you, my friend. Kop TV, may you have all a wonderful year and boss shows. Thank you very much. Big up to Sharky Meldrew in the comments as well. Big up to LFC YNWA. You'll never walk alone. Chelsea and Spurs dropping points. This is a key comment from Allier. We need to win. It goes from a must win into a triple must win now. And if Brighton win tomorrow, they're only 2 points behind Liverpool. We need Gakpo to start, says Brands. Big up to you. Results have gone our way today. We have to take the initiative. Big up to you, the Anfield Lark. Yes, AGT, hope you're well. Big up to you, Techers Dave. Happy New Year to you. It's Cody Gakpo, not Gakpo. It's pronounced with a silent G almost, right? So if you can ask Dutch people, they'd say the same. Gakpo. It's one of those. Happy New Year to you as well, Maxwell. Happy New Year to Kazi. And of course, Liverpool do need top four. Let's look at our opposition. Last year when we came here, 3-3. I think you guys will remember that one. A very entertaining game. We were in the yellow kit. I believe Naby Keita scored. I believe Mo Salah scored. And I believe Curtis Jones scored. This was September 2021 we last played there. So going back, hopefully we can get the 3 points. Let's have a little look at why is there 2 Brentford-Liverpool games? Not too sure what you mean there, unless there's something in the fixture list that has piled it up a little bit. Maybe they are close together as well. But let me share my screen with you. Let's look at the form of Brentford in the last month or so and before the World Cup. Let's have a little look, and I'll share this with you now. So as you can see, currently 10th in the table, 2 wins in 5, no losses in 5 for Brentford, which is key to them. There will be no Ivan Toney in this game, which I think is a massive plus for Liverpool. We still don't know the extent to what his potential ban could be. Ivan Toney obviously got stretched off with a really nasty knee injury the other day, so it's not looking good for him on the pitch or off the pitch right now. Ivan Toney, of course, we were linked with him, but he does face some alleged betting convictions that will be duly summarized, I guess, by the powers that be, and the consequence will be, I'm assuming, a ban of some sort. But again, we can't speculate too much. It's an ongoing case, and we have to use the word allegedly when talking about these things. But there's no allegedly about it. If Brentford do maximize the points tally tomorrow night, they go to 26 points, which would be 1 point behind Liverpool. But if Liverpool can win tomorrow night, we go on to 31 points, which would take us just above Tottenham in the table and 1 point behind Manchester United in 4th. And then once you're in 4th and you consolidate that with hopefully a big away win at Chelsea the week after, you can start looking up towards the table. Because if we get to 31 points, then again, not too far away from the likes of Newcastle and City as well, who are currently lingering 7 points behind Arsenal. Let me know in the comments right now, did any of you really expect Arsenal to be this far ahead at this stage of the season? Me personally, absolutely not. Big up to Newcastle as well. As you can see, 4 wins in 5. United, 4 wins in 5. City, 3 wins in 5. And Arsenal winning the last 5. And we have a chance to do that tomorrow as well. We have a chance to win 5 in a row tomorrow. Again, it would be the first time we've done that this season. Only 8 wins. Can we make that 9? We definitely don't want to increase this number whatsoever. We definitely need to increase this number, especially after, if you consider that we've only scored the same amount of goals as Tottenham, then that isn't something necessary to write home about. But then again, Newcastle scored less than us and they're in a higher position. So what am I talking about? But as you saw there, Forest getting a big draw with Chelsea, and now they're lingering in 8th place. And again, if we win this game, we can pull away from Chelsea a little bit via that win. Let's look at their form. If we go back to, let's go back to the start of November, a draw, a really entertaining draw actually. This one was Forest Brentford. This was 2-2. They also went through, Gillingham knocked them out of the EFL Cup in the 3rd round. And then this, an absolutely monumental win for Brentford away at the Etihad. They beat City 2-1 on the 12th of November, just before we went into the World Cup. They also played a couple of pre-season friendlies, won one, lost one, and drew one with Wolfsburg. But then we saw on Boxing Day a massive 2-2 draw at home to Tottenham, and then an even bigger, massive win away at West Ham, which really cranks up the pressure on David Moyes in the week. That was a massive 2-0 victory. De Silva and Wissa getting the goals. So in the absence of Tony, you're looking at the likes of Wissa, you're looking at the likes of Bueno as well, to really get behind Brentford and give them that goal attacking threat, which is massively restricted with no Ivan Toney in the building. We're going to get into your score predictions as well, and a lineup prediction once we've fully gone through Brentford. But massive shout out to Scouse African. Big up to you, mate. You don't have to, but I appreciate the support. Sending in a super chat. Happy New Year, AGT, and the team. £10 behind it as well. Thank you, mate. That really does more than you can imagine. That goes straight back into the channel to help us make more content for you guys. So massive shout out to you. And remember, if you want to send in a super chat, and make sure that your comment is 100% read out. Just touching on Brentford as well. Obviously, when you look at the players that they've got, the manager that they've got, they're overachieving. You have to give your flowers to Brentford. They've come into the Premier League. They've got some massive wins, most notably probably a 4-0 win against Manchester United, which was very fun to watch. Hopefully nothing like that tomorrow night. But it's a 5:30 kickoff. It's a Monday. I mean, there's train strikes all over the place this week, so I guess it was good that it was on a Monday. Maybe that train strike has been the reason why this is a 5:30 and not a 7:45 or an 8 o'clock kickoff. You've obviously got fans looking to get back up north after this one, and hopefully those guys that are taking the train can do that to their best ability. And again, looking at the result from last season, we had that opportunity to win. We threw it away. We can't make that same mistake this time. This season, in away games, we've been poor, if I'm honest, in total. Apart from the Aston Villa win the other night, I mean, the Champions League nights have gone fairly well for us away from home. But in the Premier League, away wins, I can't really think of too many apart from that Aston Villa one. And we need to double up on that. We need to make sure it's 2 in a row. Away from home. We've struggled when it comes to grounds that really intimidate you this season. Look how we fared at Forest, newly promoted team. We know they're better, way better than them in terms of quality, but that atmosphere, that maybe not our favorite time of a kickoff. I think that one was 12:30. This one's 5:30, a little bit later in the day. Obviously, it's a massive travel down from Liverpool to Brighton, so the players will have to get a good night's sleep tonight, train in the morning, and then head down. But we can't be intimidated by that atmosphere tomorrow night. We know it's going to be there. We know they're going to start putting pressure on our players as soon as we get the ball, making us make mistakes. This is how it is in tough away day Premier League fixtures. The opposition fans, they know that they're not good enough to beat you in terms of a straight shootout, quality for quality, man for man, position for position, but they can definitely make that atmosphere intimidating. And that's what we have to calm down and dilute within the first 10 to 15, 20 minutes tomorrow in this 5:30 kickoff. We've got to really shut that crowd up. They're going to be bang up for this. First game for them in the new year. They're fresh from a big winner against West Ham. They've got something to prove now with no Ivan Toney in that team. So again, like I said, shut the fans up, make it hard for them, be undeniably good, and make sure that they can't get behind their team. And that's might not be the nicest thing to say, but this is football. This is what you have to do to win away games in the Premier League. You go there, you make it uncomfortable for them, you turn it from an away ground into your home ground, you dominate possession, you're clinical with your chances. And this is certainly a game tomorrow night that Brentford will think that they can cause an upset in. But again, if we do these things and quiet down that crowd, get into their players, make sure they don't have too much time on the ball, don't show them too much respect, then we will win this game and the quality will shine through. But it's about dealing with the atmosphere that we couldn't really deal with last time. I don't want to see us conceding 3 goals again. I just wanted to get a couple of facts and figures before this game. Brentford are winless in their last 9 meetings with Liverpool, drawn 2 and lost 7. The last home win for them, November 1938. Just before the war, literally just before the second one. Quick geography and history stats there. Geography, not really history. That was just before the war. Liverpool have scored at least once in each of the last 26 away Premier League games in London. That's a great stat. You won't get that anywhere else. Scoring 56 times in a run stretching back to August 2018, winning 15 of those, drawing 8, and only losing 3 times, guys. So in London, in the last 26 away games, we've only lost 3. So that stat has to continue, and we need to turn that 15 to a 16. It's the longest ever run of consecutive scoring games by a non-London side in away league games in the capital since it started. That's incredible. Liverpool have only won. This isn't a stat we are not going to like. Liverpool have only won their opening league game in 2 of the last 8 calendar years, drawing 3, losing 3, guys. We beat Burnley 2-1 in 2018, and we beat Sheffield United 2-0 in 2020 in the lockdown season. But that is not a good stat, guys. Traditionally, Liverpool do not, especially in the last 8 years, do not start the new year well. As I've just read out there, only won 3 of the last 8. In all competitions, Liverpool have won 23 of their 49 games played in the month of January under Jurgen Klopp. 47%. And do you know what? It's a fact, so obviously I agree with it. But my birthday's in mid-January, January the 17th. And as memory serves me correctly, I don't think I've ever had a great January. I really haven't, guys. This is the one month that since Klopp's joined, we just don't play well. We don't pick up maximum points, and that has to change. This January curse has to change. Couple more stats to read you before I jump into the comments. Salah has scored, Mo Salah that is, has scored 19 in 38 Premier League appearances for Liverpool in London. 73 goals on Merseyside, 70 at Anfield and 3 at Goodison Park, and could become the second player to net 20 plus Premier League goals in both London and Merseyside. Very interesting stat. Brentford forward Ivan Toney, who isn't playing, has been directly involved in 16 of the last 19 Premier League appearances at the Brentford Community Stadium, 12 goals and 4 assists. He's not playing tomorrow, stretchered off in the last game. So there you go. Take away all those goals that Ivan Toney has contributed. Liverpool are looking to deal with a slightly less potent front line from Brentford. But again, it's going to be very, very difficult. Big up to Ant Dicko, mate. Massive shout out to you. Evening to you, mate. Happy New Year as well. I hope it's a big, successful one for you too. Big up to Jen, who's always showing love. And there you go. She's shown love again with a super chat sticker. Thank you so much, Jen. You are an absolute star. Happy New Year. Straight back to you. Big up to you and everyone in your circle. I hope it's a very successful year for you too, Jen. Let's touch on Liverpool now. Ravi saying he would like to see either Carvalho, Bobby, or Thiago in that 10 role. That's an interesting one. Never actually heard that one before. In the comments, if you're just watching us now, there's 100 of us in this chat right now. Make sure, first of all, you're smashing the like button. Why wouldn't you? But second of all, let me know about what you think about Thiago in that 10 role. I've never actually thought about that. Big up to Ravi for bringing it up. Is that realistic? Can we see, or can we rely on Carvalho to play that left wing / number 10 role for us? And Bobby looks like he will be back tomorrow. He did say in the last press conference that he was looking to get back involved on the bench at least against Leicester the other night. But no, it looks like he's going to be back in contention to at least start against Brentford tomorrow night. Do you want to see Bobby Firmino start? Stick around. We're going to do the lineup prediction very soon for you. And of course, in the title, I did say, will Gakpo make his debut? And Faisy Obama says, will Gakpo play? Because he officially joined and the transfer window opened today. So it's January the 1st today. He is officially a Liverpool Football Club player. Cody Gakpo has completed the papers, and his first day of work, I guess, is today. Do you throw him in off the bench later on if we've got the game under control? I would say yes. Do you start him? Potentially no. I don't think I would. But does that mean I don't think he will make his LFC debut? No. You can come on 70, 75 minutes and still make an impact, of course. Big up to A-Man, who says, I want Konate to start against Brentford. Big up to you for that comment. I think Konate, we haven't seen him since the World Cup. Unbelievable player. So is Matip, to be fair. Didn't really put many feet wrong in that Leicester game. But yeah, I would not be against having Konate start this one as well. Big up to Jen, as we've already said. Big up to Scouse African, who says, I think we all know, and Bellingham himself knows, his destiny is at Liverpool. Mate, 100% want that to happen, but money talks. And if we're not offering the big bucks, he could go to Real Madrid, or he could choose the destiny option, the legacy option of going to Liverpool. I guess that's up for debate, because obviously Real Madrid probably have the most legacy in history in world football. It's probably me being jealous and bitter of him being tempted by Real Madrid. But listen, I want him at Liverpool. You guys know this all day long. We have to beat them without Tony. Again, the point I just mentioned there, we have to do it. We have to do it, Danil. As I just mentioned, 16 in 19 in terms of goals attributions for his last 19 games at Brentford Stadium. Take him out of that, and they definitely look less of a threat. But this is the thing. You don't underestimate them. You don't become complacent just because he's not playing. That allows the opportunity for the fans to get right in your face. It's a very tight stadium at Brentford, small capacity, but they do make a noise. And they did that last year against us by scoring 3 against us. I do think Ivan Toney scored, but I think Wissa scored against us that night as well. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him. They get goals from midfield. Look at De Silva the other night. Look at Norgard. They do get goals from the midfield. They're good at set pieces as well, and they're a tight unit. So we have to make sure that we definitely don't underestimate these guys. People already forgetting Firmino, is it? Says Maxwell. I don't think Klopp will throw Gakpo in that fast. I'm definitely not forgetting Firmino, my bro. I'm hoping he signs that new deal, 2 to 3 years at least. I don't think Gakpo starts. I think Bobby starts. When are you going on DR Sports, Alex? With my full name. Thanks for that. Just in case anyone didn't know why I'm called AGT, that is why. This is my full name. Big up to you for saying it. Tomorrow, I'll be on the weekend wrap-up show with Robbie and Matisse, I believe, and maybe Abby as well. So make sure you watch that tomorrow. We'll be reviewing Liverpool's win against Leicester and looking forward to the massive game tomorrow night, 5:30. We will be back at Jurgen's for this one, guys. We will be doing a match day vlog as well. One thing I did want to say as well, when we're doing these match day vlogs, we're obviously capturing our live raw emotions during the game. As the game happens, then we put it out very shortly after. Our most viewed video of all time was a match day vlog from Jurgen's. Liverpool 5-0 winners at Old Trafford. We have noticed a small drop off to the vlog views, so make sure when we do the fan cams outside Jurgen's and when we do these vlogs as well, you watch them, because you know there's not much point of us doing them if you don't watch them. So I'm calling to all the big Kop TV fans here. Make sure you watch, like, and share the match day vlogs, because we love putting them together for you. They really show you, especially from myself and Mario, the ups and downs of watching Liverpool at Jurgen's. We've had some amazing nights in there. The atmosphere is bouncing on a match day in Jurgen's. We've had some low times in there as well. We lost against Villa, Leicester. I can think of a loss against Forest as well. So we need to make sure that we get the atmosphere rocking in Jurgen's tomorrow night, and to make sure that we watch the match day vlogs. And of course, Tuesday morning, as always, Hot Copics will be back in the studio. Do send in your topics for Hot Copics, or I should say, send in your Hot Copics for Hot Copics. It's a play on words if you haven't noticed already. But make sure you do send them in. We're always looking for your input into the show to make it better, to make it more inclusive. So make sure you do send in your Hot Copics to myself, James, Ruby, Mario, whoever it may be, on Instagram, YouTube. We'll find the comments and we'll make sure that we talk about them for you and really dissect them in that hour on Hot Copics. No press conference today. No, there wasn't. There was no Jurgen Klopp press conference today. He usually does it a day before the game. Maybe it's a day off. I'm not too sure about that, but there you go. Big up to Ravi. We can't be Brookside FC. We need to be fully focused. Absolutely, for sure, for sure. I think Liverpool will win tomorrow. It's now or never for us to get in. I'm going to add a little bit Scouse African to get into the top 4. So many amazing comments. Big up to you, Scouse African. AGT, I'll be there tomorrow. We have to have a beer. 100%. It's my turn to buy you a beer, mate. You're supporting the channel so much with all these very generous super chats, so I need to make sure that I repay the favor to you, my friend. Let me just scroll back up because again, so many comments, and if you are sending in a super chat, that does get you right to the top of the queue for comments to be read out. But let's touch on the lineup prediction now. So many comments to get through, and I'll touch on them here if I can, as many as I can. So Alisson in goal, we know that. Trent defensively so sound in the last game, really was one of his best performances. And I really rated his honesty, actually, guys, in the post-match interview he gave with Carragher and Neville and Kelly. There's no pulls, there's no punches pulled really in Trent interviews. He's honest. He hits the target with his answers to the questions that are given to him. He openly came out and said he hasn't necessarily helped himself. He openly said that we didn't play well against Leicester. And I like that honesty from Trent. You have to have that if you want to make yourself better as a player. It's not all going to be flowers every game, no compliments every game. You are going to go through rough patches. And I'm not saying that he is in the slightest, but I think for him, when you look at the stat that really stands out, which is no assists for Trent since April, where we are in January now. That was literally last year. So we're coming up to maybe 9 months where Trent hasn't had an assist for Liverpool in any competition, which is mind-blowing when you look at his numbers and what he's won, what he's achieved at such a young age at Liverpool. But he needs to get back amongst the assists. We saw how well he played against Leicester in terms of whipping those early balls into the box, which caused chaos, which caused at least one own goal. But now we need to start seeing him make those assists. But I'm not too mad if we're looking at Trent and saying brilliant defending instead of what an assist or what a free kick. I'm not too mad at that. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that, if I'm honest, where we're coming away from games saying how good a defender he was. So I'm really interested to see how he carries on this. And from what I remember, he didn't have the best game against Brentford in the last time we went there. So a massive game for Trent tomorrow night. We need him to be on his best going forward and coming back. In the middle, big conundrum. Spam the comments now, guys. Who do you want to partner Virgil van Dijk at the back? Sorry, I got something in my eye there. Not too sure what that is. But who do you want to see Jurgen Klopp partner at the back? Virgil van Dijk partner at the back. Is it Joel Matip, who was a good 6.5, 7 out of 10 against Leicester? Wasn't his best by any stretch. But do you bring big Ibu Konate in? You guys saw me watch him at the World Cup. He did not put a foot wrong for France. I can't give him any more praise from what I saw of him recently. But now it's time for him to jump back into the Premier League. And I think tomorrow, without Ivan Toney, who do Brentford play up front? How many do they go with? Could Mbeumo and Wissa both play? Will they go for one up front? Will they try and hit us with 3 to try and exploit those gaps in between the Liverpool defenders? Or do they go for one up front and play a little bit more defensive? This is all the questions I need to know in the comments right now. But Andiko saying he definitely would start Konate. Big up to everyone who's getting involved in the comments. You guys are smashing it right here. Ibu says FaZe, Scouse Africa wants to see Konate, Van Dijk, Robbo and Gomez. Interesting. So he wouldn't play Trent, I'm guessing there, Scouse African. 50 likes. Guys, there's 130 of us in here right now. 50 likes is not good enough. You guys know we need the likes to help us go up the algorithm. If you are watching right now, please just press the like. It doesn't cost anything, guys, and it really does show as much support as possible. So please, let's get these likes up. Diego, always counting the likes. So thankful for your support as well, mate. I saw some news that Toney would start. Not too sure about that, if I'm honest. Please do get those likes up. Big up to MC. Big up Alex, mate. Happy New Year. Hope you and the guys are doing good. Likewise to you, my brother. Nate clearly doesn't want to see Gomez play. Please don't take on Gomez. I'm getting a heart attack if he plays. A little bit harsh, maybe. But big up to Yassine Elouassi. Massive shout out to you for the super chat again today, guys. A lot of super chats coming in, and as I say, so many amazing comments coming in from you guys. But to boost your chat up to the top and have this read out, this is how you support the channel. This is a super chat. Thank you so much. We need a backup 6. Hendo isn't a 6. They say. I say we get Amrabat so we have more depth in the midfield. We have too many 8s and save Jude for the summer. Do you know what? I wouldn't be too mad if that happened. I actually agree with you. We do need a backup 6. I think Fabinho does play that role almost to a T, but can we rely on him 100 times out of 100? Maybe not. Do we bring Amrabat in, who's maybe a Fabinho-like player, but just a little bit younger? I would say yes, and then obviously we go big for Jude as well. But right, let me get back to the lineup prediction. Konate, a lot of Konates in the chat, guys. The Anfield Lark, Scouse African, Faze Obama, Jody, Jonah, Bailey. Big up to everyone getting involved with your lineup predictions for me. Everyone here seems to go Konate, so let's go with Konate, Virgil and Konate at the back. Now, let's not forget, Robertson did come off with an injury against Leicester. It did look like a little bit of a calf issue, which, guys, it's a tricky one because, yes, he wasn't necessarily in massive agony, and knowing Robbo, he probably wanted to play through that pain barrier. But a calf injury can take, 7 to 14 days for him to recover. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see the likes of Kostas Tsimikas starting tomorrow night. I wouldn't be too mad at that at all. I actually think he started this game in the last time we went to Brentford, and I think he got an assist from a corner in that yellow McDonald's kit that we had. But again, wouldn't be too disheartened, surprised at all. In fact, I'd be happy to see Kostas Tsimikas start for Liverpool. So we're going with the back 5 there of Alisson, Trent, Ibu, Konate, Van Dijk, and Tsimikas. In the midfield, this is really interesting, guys. Slightly overrun in the midfield against Leicester. But we need to get this 3 that we have really up and at it in that midfield. Let me know in the comments. Spam the comments right now. Who do you want to see in the middle tomorrow night? Faze, Obama, Thiago. For me, that's a name that always at least starts. He also wants to see a Keita start. Jonah as well wants to see a Keita start. Very interesting. Lifeheart, obviously a Brentford fan. Come on, you bees. Big up to you for joining us today, mate, on the Kop TV for this match preview. They said that apparently Ivan Toney's injury is not too bad. He could come off the bench. Lifeheart, in fact, as we're going through our lineup prediction, help me on yours. Will Ivan Toney play tomorrow night? Is he too injured? Is he going to try and push through that pain barrier and come off the bench? Let me know in the comments right now. Lifeheart, if you are watching, let us know. Does Toney feature tomorrow night? Zui going for Thiago, Fabinho, and Keita. Uranio going for Fabinho, Thiago, and Harvey. Hendo was awful, he says. Faze Obama against Matip. I wouldn't say he was awful. I do think it wasn't his best game. But he is the captain of our club, and he does play this role now that I quite like. And again, I'm more than happy for Henderson to start a lot of games for Liverpool, but he does play this nice role of seeing out the game, especially in midfield. Let's say we did go with this one, Fabinho, Thiago, and Harvey Elliott. Let's say we did. Let's say, for instance, we get to a stage 2 or 3-0 up in the second half, 2-3-1 up maybe. And I like to see Henderson coming on in those type of moments where he just uses his leadership, his calmness, his experience to just sail through the rest of the game and make sure that those points are ours and they're wrapped up in that bag. So, guys, let us know in the comments right now. Spam it again. What is your midfield? I'm going to get through many of them as I scroll down. Naby, Thiago, and Fabinho. A lot of people here saying Keita to start. Who wants to see that, guys? Faze Obama saying Keita or Jones to start. Let's not forget Curtis Jones scored a screamer in this game last year. Matip in the 10. Not too sure about that, Maxwell. Thiago, Fabinho, and not Hendo. What about this one? Big up to you, Bobby Tad. Bashatic, the Spanish/Serbian 18-year-old, our 3rd ever youngest goal scorer in the Premier League, scored against Aston Villa coming off the bench. Another amazing option to have in midfield. I really do believe that he's got a very bright future. Still doesn't mean that we don't buy a midfielder. I still believe that we do, but this kid is special. Mark my words, he's got it all from what I've seen. So does he start? Does Klopp really surprise us here and start him? We saw him start very recently. Who was it against? Help me in the comments. Who do we see him start against? I think it was a cup game. I think it might have been City. It was City and he came off, but then really impressed coming off the bench again against Aston Villa. So does he start? Does he come on? Let me know in the comments. Who do you want to see? And Dicko saying we cannot start like we did against Leicester. Totally agree. We can't. There is no way I can see us concede the first goal. I don't want to see it anymore. It's always chasing the game, which we are good at. With Liverpool, we do that. But at the same time, let's try and score that first goal and put the game to bed, people. I don't want to see starts like that against Leicester again. Tony, let him come. It will make us play better. Interesting. Tony will start. Yes, mate. Hang on a minute. If Tony's starting, how did I see him crying coming off on a stretcher with people tweeting him messages of support if he's going to play 3 days later? Is it just me, or does that seem a bit mad to you guys? I mean, Ivan Toney starting after being scratched off. I don't know. SAS Scouser, Harvey lacks defensively, needs to beat his man more often too. Naby, Thiago, and Fabinho, says Michael. Big up to Maxwell, Fabinho, Harvey, and Thiago. Hendo is a bench player. Carvalho for Harvey. Looked injured when he came off the other day. Keita needs to start. Interesting how much love there is for Keita. I'm not against it. I'm just saying. Kazi, right, here we go. Some real news on Tony. According to Frank, they're waiting for the swelling to go down on Tony's ankle before they make a definite decision whether he's in or out that game tomorrow night. If he is fit enough, he'll probably come from the bench. Interesting. If it was an impact injury, obviously a lot of swelling will be there. And sometimes that can go down quicker rather than later. You look at Neymar in the World Cup. He came back from an extremely swollen ankle, but he did have about 2 weeks to recover. This is a matter of days we're talking about. Me personally, having had many injury ankles, especially swollen ankles and fractured ankles, ligament damage in my ankle from playing football myself, I'm not sure if a 3-day turnaround is going to be enough for Ivan Toney here. I'm not saying I don't want him to play. I know he's a big Liverpool fan. I know he would like to move to Liverpool one day. But I just personally think this game's come a little bit too soon for him. Esther wants to start Naby as well. Bajcetic, a lot of people saying as well. Gakpo will be on the bench, says Allier. Thiago, Fabinho, Bajcetic for me, says Faze Obama. Should we go with the youngsters tomorrow? Very valid question from Scouse African. Bajcetic could be the next Gerrard. I don't like saying this just because it just builds people on this pedestal when they're not there yet. So I wouldn't necessarily say that. But guys, 172 of you locked into the Kop TV right now. Please press the like button as we get into the second half of this lineup prediction. Then, of course, score prediction. And then I'll read out some comments just on Gakpo before we round it up. Derby, he played in the Carabao Cup. He did, and I was at that game. Very impressed with him. That is Bajcetic, that is. Elliot out for tomorrow, says Basil. Tony had an MRI scan. Tony will start. I'm gonna still say no. I'm gonna still say I don't see him start. If he does, then that is an unbelievable turnaround. We need his height, physicality, and height in this game. Elliot is out of depth in this regard. Elliot out, Henderson out, Milner out, Gomez out, Keita out, Ox out, and Jones out. Linda's out. That is a long list of outs, mate. I'm not sure if I can keep up or agree with all of those either, but thank you for your comment nonetheless. Big up to Scouse African as well, lad. I'm off. Good night, kids. See you tomorrow. Big up to you, my friend. Ant Dicko says I'd let one of Keita go in January for free in the summer anyway. That's a good point, to be fair. He signed a 5-year deal with Liverpool in 6-year deal in 2017. That, of course, runs out in the summer. So do we cash in on Naby or do we just let him go for free? I'm massively against letting any player leave for free, if I'm honest. I don't like the... I just don't really like the idea of paying so much money for a player and then just letting him walk out the door when the contract ends. I think we have to tighten up our contract negotiations a little bit quicker. We saw how long it took for Salah to sign his deal. We wrapped up some really top players in terms of really important players in terms of contracts last year. Look at look at Alisson, look at Van Dijk, look at Trent, look at Robbo, look at the midfield as well. It's just strikers, including Salah, including Diaz signed obviously in January, but we need to get Bobby Firmino to sign that contract soon. And I'm really torn between Keita. I'm more leaning towards letting him go, but I'd like a fee for him. So if that is in January, it means that we would have to replace him there straight away. Are there any suitors that want to pay, at least 30 for Naby Keita? I think we did want at least 30. Still young. and still can bring you big moments, which he has done for Liverpool, just not enough, I would say. Really torn on Naby Keita, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Lifeheart, the big Brentford fan here, saying sometimes we play even better without Ivan Toney. I've broken my ankle 3 times, depending how the swelling is. There you go. If your ankle is swollen, you can't play for 72 hours, but then he's got to train. And if he doesn't train, he's not fit enough. If he's not fit enough, he probably starts on the bench. Jude is the next Gerrard for us, of course. Please smash the likes, guys. Big up to everyone reminding you in the comments to do that. I would love to see Ben Doak play more. Let's get into the midfield then. Let me round off this lineup prediction for you. Just to remind you, if you just joined us, Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson. Then in the midfield, I've gone with Fabinho, Keita, and Thiago. I think start tomorrow night. Curtis Jones still injured, hasn't seen enough of him. Bajcetic again could be thrown in there. He could well be thrown in there. And I think Hendo comes on to play that leadership role in the second half rather than starting. And obviously Elliott not limped off, but didn't look great when he came off the other night. So I'm assuming he might be out for tomorrow. But there you go. There's my midfield. Let me know in the comments if you agree. I've gone Keita, Thiago, and Fabinho. Same with Ox and Milner. No one will buy them. They'll probably go on a free. Dog update, Alex. Thank you. Ant, dog's fine, mate. I'm in London right now. The dog is in Liverpool. But you'll be seeing a lot more of him. Don't worry about that. Keita and Ox have done it for me. Liverpool, says Eze Patrick. Who has a better future, Elliott or Carvalho? Very good question. Oh, I can't call that one. I'm going to go with Elliott just because I've seen a little bit more from him, but Carvalho definitely a very big future ahead of him. Leipzig could sign Naby Keita. We obviously bought him from another Red Bull club at Salzburg in 2017. Could he go back to the Red Bull place? Definitely Carvalho. Baziel wants to see start. Thiago, Fabinho, and Keita, but I hope Bajcetic starts. Any update on Jota? Guys, we've seen pictures of Jota in training. We've seen him back, right? Now, obviously, Klopp likes to have his players back for a while before he starts them in a game. But I haven't seen anything more than Jota, if I'm honest. I haven't seen more pictures of him since we saw those pictures of him playing in training. So I don't know is the answer. Keita is nothing like the player we all thought he was. In my opinion, it's one of Klopp's mistakes. Unless he puts a big performance in, then I'd sell him for even half the money. See you at Jurgen's tomorrow, Alex. Big up to you, FaZe Obama. That's a good midfield, says JMXC. Alex, will Tyler Morton make it at Liverpool? Very strong question. We'll discuss that actually on Hot Topics. We'll save it for that. Let's get on to the strikers then. I think obviously Salah and Nunez are guarantees, but I throw Bobby back in there. I go back with our trusted 3 of Nunez, who definitely needs a goal, by the way. Bobby Firmino, who's coming back, of course. And, of course, Mo Salah, who normally scores against Brentford. For this one, I would drop the Ox. I would drop Carvalho, even though he didn't start in the next game. But that means that off the bench, you can bring on Cody Gakpo. You can bring on Fabio Carvalho. You can bring on Harvey Elliott. You can bring on Jordan Henderson. These are quality players to be bringing off the bench. And Jen is agreeing with me in the comments. Bobby, Salah, and Nunez. So there you go. Well done, Liverpool, for signing Cody Gakpo, says Mohammed. And Gakpo will start on the bench, AGT. I think, is Bobby fit for tomorrow? I would say yes. But again, I'm saying this as if I know it. I mean, Klopp could easily tomorrow throw in a Bajcetic. He could easily throw in a Gakpo to start the game. It's down to him. And he does surprise us a lot, doesn't he, with his team selections. Question, will Gakpo start? I've just said it. I don't think he will. I do not think he will. I think we'll see him off the bench, but I still do think he makes his LFC debut for tomorrow. There is a point here from Fidel Alexandro, which could mean I'm totally wrong, but Gakpo can't play unless we have special dispensation. Dutch FA closed 2nd of January. I'm not too sure because it did say that he is a Liverpool player on the 1st of January, right? It's the 2nd of January tomorrow. So that to me means that all the paperwork will have been done and hopefully he has already got his work permit. He's in the country, as we know. He watched us play against Leicester the other night. Not massively impressed. Why would you be? But if he starts to come in, then you're probably looking at Bobby dropping to the bench a little bit more. If he plays from that left, you obviously play Darwin up front and Salah on the right, even though Darwin has been playing on that left-hand side. Do you know what? I really like that pace that he can show in that channel between the right centre-back and the right-back. And he's shown against Villa chaos. He's shown against Leicester chaos from that kind of inside left channel where he can either cut it back or go for goal. For me, it's just the decision-making that needs to be refined. I think he clearly gets himself into the position. He's clearly strong enough. He's clearly quick enough to do it. It's just that killer instinct that he needs to sharpen up on, which you can do that. Look at Salah. He's done that. He was misfiring a little bit at the start and then just refined it and became a killer in front of goal. On average, Darwin Núñez has the most shots of any striker in the Premier League with 5.8 per 90 minutes. If we say that out of those 6 shots, let's round it up to 6. If we say that out of those 6 shots per game, he at least gets 3 on target, and those 3 on target equal 1 or 2 goals, then we are looking at a mad signing for Liverpool with years to go. Maybe for the next 10 years, who knows? But once he really refines that killer instinct, which I know he will, he is going to score a bucket load, a shed load, a boatload of goals. Trust me on that one. I can see it. Everyone's still supporting him. You saw at Anfield the other night at the end of the game, everyone's singing his name. He just has to finish. I'm not going to read out comments like this because it's ridiculous, if I'm honest. But I like the dilemma that signing Gakpo will give to Klopp, says Eze Patrick. Nutty stats, just need to focus on hitting the back of the net, as I mentioned there. So, just to go through it again, Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson in the midfield. I've gone Keita, Thiago and Fabinho. I've also gone for Bobby Firmino, Darwin Núñez and Mo Salah in those forward 3 positions with a Gakpo, with Carvalho, with a Henderson coming off the bench tomorrow at least. Gakpo is a high doubt, but I hope they make the 12:30 deadline. Who knows? Score predictions. Let's get into those. Again, we need more goals. We need to score more goals. We obviously didn't technically score any goals in the last game. It was 2 own goals, but it's one of those, isn't it, where you just need us to be more clinical. With the amount of chances that Liverpool get, we have to be more clinical. Over 180 of us watching right now. Please subscribe to the Kop TV, also on Instagram as well. 3-1, 1-0, 4-0, 2-1, 2-0, 3-1, 2-1, all Liverpool wins. I'm going to go with I'd be more than happy with a 2-0 away win, and that's what I'm going to go for. Smash the likes, people. Just before we go, everyone in the comments right now, there's 170 of you watching. Tell me where you are watching the Kop TV from. I always like to do this at the end of a show. I like to find out where guys and girls are watching from. Last time it astounded me, if I'm honest. It was unbelievable. So let's try and do the same today and let me know where you are watching from. Yard on my phone. Does that mean you're in England? Let me know. Scotland, big up to you. Texas, Scotland again. London, Luton, big up. Liverpool, West London, Port Elizabeth, South Africa. This is starting to get into amazing territory. Melbourne, Australia, big up to you, Andy. Always watching in. Denmark, Ilias. I recognize that name a lot. Make sure you keep subscribing, my bro. Who's your picture of there? It's Gakpo, isn't it? Playing for PSV. Love to see it. Kenya, Nigeria, Austria, Jamaica. I'm actually going to Jamaica in June. Big up to my Jamaican followers. At home in Liverpool, says Hanson Lawrenson. Big up to you, my friend. Edinburgh, Glasgow, Florida, USA, Manchester. I haven't had many viewers from Manchester. Big up to you. Estonia, Kenya, Zimbabwe. I can't believe it. This is unbelievable. L1 baby, says Mr. Jam. Big up to you. I currently reside in L1 as well. Malawi, South Africa, Cape Town, Jamaica, as you've all said. This is incredible. Big up Marlon Brown in Jamaica as well. North Korea, says Michael Alexander. Big up. Italy, Dallas, Texas. You guys are going in right now. Right, one last question that I will take from Ali A here. AGT, could we see Gakpo as a 9 and Núñez on the left? I think we can. I think it's been a purposeful buy in the way that we know how direct, strong and powerful Gakpo is at 6'4", but we also know that he plays on the left, and we can also swap him with Nunes. That's the beauty of the Liverpool forward line. You know, you can swap them in and out. It doesn't matter really. So big up everyone getting involved. It's been another great stream, man. Amazing stream. Would love to one day. Would love to come to Nigeria. A lot of Liverpool fans there. Is Klopp doing a press conference? No. 100 likes, 170 views can be better. Yes, at least we got to 100, but keep on smashing those likes. Great stream, AGT. Have a good one, lad. Thank you very much. Right then, guys, there you go. My score prediction is 2-0. You've heard my lineup prediction. We're going to be giving you content from Jurgen's tomorrow night for this massive one. Brentford versus Liverpool. We have to win it, considering looking at the table, the losses around us or the drop points around us today. We need to make sure that we get back to winning ways, especially away. Let's rack up those points. Let's go to 5th place tomorrow night, 1 point behind 4th. That's what we need to do. Take care. I will see you tomorrow. Make sure, even after I'm gone, if you're not watching this live, smash the likes, and we'll see you. Take care. All the best.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Rubi.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the Kop